let's go right from the beginning. Pretend this is day one, but it's not. This is the last week. So, beginning your driving experience, right? Earning your driver's license is a privilege, not a right. Most of you will do fine. Some of us tend to think, hey, it's a privilege. I can do what I want. I'm the famous athlete. I'm the big baller guy. I'm the most prettiest girl. People bow down to me. Usually, those students don't do well. Karma um, has a way of, coming full circle. Um, Across the United States, most states have a graduated licensing system. It's a three-step process. Those of you who are under 18, if you are over 18, you would go to your driver's education state facility. You would take a state test. You would get something called a TIP, which is a temporary instruction permit. You would drive for 30 days or 45 days. Every state is different. Texas is different than Florida. Florida is different than Hawaii. Wisconsin is different than Ohio. Ohio is different than New York. Blah, blah, blah. And then you have to drive a certain amount of time. And then hopefully you'll pass your test. Let's talk about a level one license. Again, put in your questions as I go along. I'm going to go through 3 or 4 pages, answer your questions. Go through 3 or 4 pages, answer your questions. Good evening. I want to welcome you in. So segment 1. And it's different. New York is different than Michigan. Ohio's different than Texas. We have 24 hours of class, 6 hours behind the wheel. Some states have 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. In New York, you have something called a junior license. You can't get your license until you're 18. So for a lot of you, you're going to have to wait 2 or 3, 4 more years. Okay? You're going to have 6 hours behind the wheel. And once they have passed the segment 1 course, and that's what you're hoping for this Thursday, hopefully you'll pass. We do have students who fail, who don't take notes, who don't study. It's human nature. You think you can come in and pass, but the test is very hard. They have to go to Secretary of State branch office with a parent or guardian. You bring the following items. 1, your level 1 certificate of completion. That'll be emailed to you within 10 days. A proof of your valid Social Security number. When you were born, the state, the federal government issued you a Social Security number. Okay? Your parents need to find that. Usually they put it in a safe deposit box. They put it in the shelf in the bedroom, in a box. It's there for 15 years or 16 years until you need it. Your legal proof of residence. Do you really live in New York? Do you really live in Michigan? Do you really live in Ohio? Do you really live in Indiana? It's a piece of mail. And then proof of identity and residency, because people can't take your inner identity. They can open a credit card in your name, open an account at a store, and then you go to apply for a car or a credit card. You have 540 credit. What? I've never had a credit card. Well, Shaquavia, don't laugh. I had a student named Shaquavia. Someone opened a credit card in your name. It happens, okay? Level 1 license. This allows you to drive with a parent or guardian, okay? Or someone over 21. So for many of you, if you have an older brother or sister, that's a good thing. Your mom and dad are working. They're there to provide a living for you, roof over your head. They're tired. They love you, but they're tired. So if you have an older brother or sister over 21, they can drive you. That's a good thing. They love you. But occasionally you're going to have to drive with mom. You're going to have to drive with dad because they control the purse strings. What does that mean? They control the money. Okay? So you got to be extra around mom, extra around dad. What does this mean? If you scare your mom and dad, you pull out in front of a car. Nope, we don't want to drive you. Nope, you don't listen. Nope, we got an email from your teacher. You're not doing your work. You got a F. You said you had a C. And then you have a meeting with the teacher. So school is really important. Your parents will hold school over your head. Behavior to your mom, behavior to your dad, whatever your parents hold over your head. I don't know. I'm not your parent. But that's what parents do. You got to have 2 hours at night. There's an app called Road Ready. Okay? Again, you don't use the app right now because you're in a level 1 class. It doesn't count. Once you go to Secretary of State, get your level 1 certificate, they're going to take a picture of you. You're going to have a vertical, up and down, little picture. You'll have the horizontal when you're 21. Okay. Um, and then 30 hours in 3 months. It's an hour and a half per week. If you can't drive an hour and a half per week, you won't make it back in 3 months. Again, some of your parents don't have time. They're busy. You don't have an older sister or brother. You scare your mom and dad because the first 90 days are the most dangerous. You're going to be out there driving. Some of you won't drive at night because you don't have good vision. Some of you won't drive in rush hour because you have anxiety. Some of you won't drive in early morning because it's very pressured. You have those seniors coming into the school parking lot. You have school buses. You have the moms and dads who are driving fast to drop off you to high school, your little brother and sister to elementary, and then they got to go to Indiana for a meeting. So they don't have time to play with you. So you really got to make time, or excuse me, your parents have to make time for you. So that's that relationship. So you get your 30 hours in 3 months, you contact a driving school, they sign you up for segment 2. Okay? And then in segment 2, you're going to learn about crash avoidance, defensive driving, the gift of life. Okay? Every state is different. Every state writes a different curriculum. Texas is different than New York. New York is different than Connecticut. Ohio's different than Indiana. California is different than Nebraska. You get the idea. Okay? There's some smart PhD, big brain woman, big brain man who is saying, hey, these things are important. Let's put a test together. And then they have a mom, they have a dad, they have an instructor, they have a teacher, and they all put questions together and they make a test. Okay? Every 2 years, this test changes. So I'm letting you know. So don't think, well, my friend took it last year and I got a copy. It's the wrong copy, bro. They change it every year. Oh, that's why I don't have you with your phones in there, because all you're going to do is try to take a picture. I make you put your phones to the side, cut them off. If you don't listen, then you got to go. Occasionally, a kid has not made it in segment 2 because they're disrespectful. The company's very serious about this. If you're disrespectful to an instructor, they'll give you your money back. Bye-bye. Well, I'll just wait till I'm 18. Well, you wait. Okay, so don't be that kid, but occasionally it does happen. So segment 2, when you come to segment 2, you got to have 30 hours in 3 months. Then you have to be 16. Remember, every state's different. You got to have 50 hours and be 16 to take your road test. I'll say it again. You have to have 50 hours and be 16 to take your road test. So again, you know when your birthday is. You know when you turn 16. You know when you have 50 hours. But for me, if I was a kid taking now, I would say, Mom and Dad, would you like to go to the store? I can get groceries. Mom and Dad, would you like to go to Grandma? She's an hour away. I would love to drive. Mom and Dad, I'm up early. I started the car. I fixed you breakfast. Can I please drive to school? Why are you so nice to me? I love you. Stop lying. You just want to get driving done. So you got to be available. Okay, you got to show your parents you want to take on that big responsibility. I hit level 2. So level 2, you are at least 16. Please, when you put the questions in, I'm going to answer level 2 one time. Level 2, in order to receive a level 2 license, the individual has to be at least 16. Have had their level 1 for a minimum of 6 months. So what does this mean? You're going to be at each level for about 6 months. Okay? That time is there for you to learn how to drive in fog, drive in snow, drive in rain, drive in rush hour, drive with a big semi truck by you. Okay, drive to New York, drive to Texas, drive to Ohio, drive to Virginia. That's for you to get your feet wet. You can't just say, hey, I want to get my license in 30 days. No. What is the permit issue date? That's the date you go to Secretary of State. Okay? So got to be at least 16, have level 1 for a minimum of 6 months. Be violation free. Pass segment 2. Segment 2 is 3 days of class. You have 20 questions. Complete a minimum of 50 supervised hours. So your mom and dad has to document. Well, what if my mom and dad wants to cheat? Well, they're cheating, you are not safe, you run a light and get hit. They're cheating, you make a left turn, you go the wrong way. They're cheating, you have people in the car, you get a ticket. They're cheating, your parents' car doesn't have insurance, you run a light, you get a ticket. So your parents have a responsibility, you have a responsibility, and in this way we have a responsible world. But it doesn't always work like that. People drive with no license, no insurance. They have accidents. They leave the scene of an accident. We have some of those things to go over, okay? So segment 2 allows the individual to drive alone. Again, I'm reading this. Some of you are going to say, when can I drive alone? I'm telling you when. Level 2 license allows the individual to drive alone at all times except between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Why? Why? Because you're going to fall asleep. You'll fall asleep. Well, what if I have a job? Well, your employer needs to write a letter. Shaniqua, Shaquavia, Tatiana will get off at 11:45. So if you get pulled over, you show the officer who pulled you over, officer, I know I'm past my curfew. I have a letter from my employer. Oh, but you still ran a light. License, registration, proof of insurance. You're going to start crying because you won't be in segment 2. Your parents' insurance is going to go up. It happens. So they can only drive during the time frames if it is at least one of the following. They're accompanied by a parent or guardian, designated licensed adult. If they're driving to and from a school-sanctioned event, let's pretend you made it to the States. It's in New York. It's in Texas. It's in Florida. That's a school-sanctioned event. If they are driving to and from employment. Level 2 license also prohibits driving with more than one passenger aged 21 or younger. You mean, are they really going to stop me? Probably. You mean I am going to get a ticket? Maybe. Why would you risk that? I don't know. I'm a teen. I think I can do what I want. No, you can't. It's called a kryptonite quotient. You think you're invincible. The reality is your age group dies more than a person 25 to 30, 35 to 40, because your whole life is being in a car. You eat in a car. You get dressed in your car. You fight in your car. You make up in your car. You pick up your brother or little sister in the car. You drive to school in your car. You get mad at someone in your car. Your car is your life. So you're going to spend a lot of time in your car. You spend more time in your car than maybe at home. Your parents make you irritated. Where are you going, John? I'm going to go driving. Okay. We're tracking you on the phone. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Because that's what your parents are going to do. They track us when we drive. Hey, you made 25 right turns. You're right. Hey, you made 15 left turns. You're right. Each kid made 5 left turns. And there are 4 left turns. Hey, you went around downtown like 45. Yes. Hey, you went through 3 roundabouts 18 times. Yes. The company's tracking me. Your parents are tracking you. I have nothing to hide. It wasn't like that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but your parents are tracking you. And you're perfectly fine with it because you have nothing to hide. If you do, then you have a problem. Also, other things they're tracking this too. So let's talk about the level 2 license prohibits driving more than one passenger under the age of 21. And there's something called Kelsey's Law. We'll look at that. The driver also cannot use the cell phone except for an emergency situation. So when can you be free? Level 3. In order to receive your level 3 license, the individual has to be at least 17. Only one of you is going to be 17. Have held your level 2 license for a minimum of 6 months. Have had 12 consecutive violation-free months of driving. If you get a ticket, that's going to push you back. That's going to make your parents' insurance go up. That's going to make them not trust you. That's going to make your life difficult. Well, it was the officer's fault. No, you were speeding. I got caught at the light. No, you ran a yellow red light. Or he or she was staying there in the school zone and they knew that I was speeding. No, there were people in the community who got tired of teens speeding. Or two cars went through the light and he happened to catch me. Tell it to the judge. Level 3 license allows the individual to drive without any restrictions. So around level 3, 17. So please understand that. Some of you are going to ask me, when can I drive by myself? When can I drive myself? Okay. For residents who are 18 or older who have never been licensed, go to Secretary of State. Again, valid Social Security number, proof of U.S. citizenship or legal residence, proof of identity. And for those of you who are almost 18, you won't be in this class. Once you receive your TIP is your temporary structure permit, they have to practice with an adult for 30 days. Put in questions about what I just went over. Can you drive 17? Okay, when you're 17, can you drive with however many people you want? The answer is yes, because you have full privileges. But remember, the more people you have in a car, the more likely you are to be distracted. Because Shanique was talking about the dog who's driving. You're talking about the lady who's walking on water. And then you look at a Instagram reel or something on TikTok or something on YouTube, you ruin someone. Please put more questions in. Do you know if the test is multiple choice? It's about driving situations. Will we take segment 2 with you or someone else? It depends on when you, the answer is I would love it, but you got to remember, I do 6 classes. I do 6 or 7 classes a year because every class is 6 weeks, a month and a half. You do the math. I do 6 or 7 classes a year. I do 6 or 7 segment 2s. It may be with me, it may not, but there's a limit of 20 students. If we were in person, it would be 36. Oh boy. And then I would drive 26 students and my backup driver would drive 10. But post-COVID, I made the decision to go full remote. 20 students is fine. I'm working smart, not hard. If I wanted to ball out and go back in person, I could go in person, but I'm not doing that because I have a choice. Okay? Put in your questions, please. Is there a certain number of hours you have to drive on the highway? No, it does not say highway hours. It says night hours. Again, it doesn't say highway hours, it says night hours. But you will benefit yourself by driving that half an hour, that 30 minutes, that 1 hour. The more deep driving you get, the better driver you will become. If you're driving from Texas to Nebraska, that's a good drive. If you're driving from Michigan to Indiana, that's a good drive. If you're driving from Michigan to New York, that's a deep drive. If you're driving from Ohio to Las Vegas, Nevada, that's a good drive. So the deeper drives you can get, the better you are. So you're going to start learning about your second auntie, your second uncle. You need to drive, but it takes money. And you're a teen. You don't have money. You don't have a job. Your parents are paying for your clothes. Mom, I need a haircut. My check comes next Thursday. Make an appointment. Mom, I need my nails done. I got a prom. Make an appointment next week. My check comes in. Only a few of you really have a job. Type in the chat if you have a job. Type in the chat if you have a job. Okay? Because some of you are just trying to figure it out. You went from a middle school kid who thinks they know everything. You're at the bottom of the food chain in 9th grade. You're a 10th grader. You think you know everything. The seniors will push you back down. You're a junior. You're like, oh man, I got to get my license now. My parents are not going to take me anywhere. Right? You're a senior. You're late. You should have had your license in 10th grade. Driver's ed is very expensive. It costs over $550. You don't have the time. Your parents don't have the time. Okay? So I hear all types of reasons why. I'm trying to give you a global overview. So you want to drive on the freeway as much as possible. So if I pass my knowledge test, I got my certificate before. Okay, I'm going to read this again. So if I pass my knowledge test, let's just put this aside. You have to pass your knowledge test. But I like what you said, if. You will. Positive manifestation. You will. When you pass your knowledge test, you have to finish your driving. You don't get anything until your driver's card is turned into the driving school. I'll say it again. You pass your test. I take it over to the school. Remember the envelope that I showed you? Here's the envelope. Your test is Thursday. All of you are going to be there. Pass or fail. I put it in the envelope. I seal it up. I put my name on there. Segment 1, the school. I take it over. Or I'm sorry, a student's going to drive over. Hey. I put it in the mailbox. The next business day, the people open it up. They scan it. They check attendance. They check payment. They're looking for your drive card. If your drive card's not there, everything is just on pause. When you're done driving, we go over to the office. We put your drive card in the mailbox. The next business day, someone opens that mailbox up. Corvette. They get your drive card. They check everything. Each drive is initialed, signed by the instructor. Pass or fail. 39 out of 39. So again, you have to meet certain criteria. So I answered your question. You got to be done with all your driving. Passing your test is just one part. Getting your 6 hours of drive is just one part. Making sure you had 24 hours of classes. So if you don't have the class, the driving, or the test, you won't get anything. You're kind of a kid in limbo. Like some of you here for a makeup. Some of you already have your driving, but you got kicked out of class, or you were leaving on test day, or something happened. I don't know. Don't care. I'm just here to be a servant. Okay? So all those things that got to be in place. Good question. Do I leave after my makeup hour's done? Bye-bye. You know your time. We haven't been here an hour yet. Only been here 22 minutes. I need more questions. Are the headlights buttons on a lever? The answer is it depends on the car. Some cars have daytime running lights. You don't need to do anything. Some cars you have a button to push in or a handle to pull out. Every car is different. So this is why you need to know your car. Thank you for the great question. After 10 days, is the certificate digital? The certificate is digital. Thank you, Alante. It is digital. Because back in the day, I think I have one somewhere, it was pink or blue. It had your legal name on there, your birthday, your permit issue number. You would hug me, I would hug you, your parents give me a high five. They're like, woohoo! But that's the old way. Everything is digital now. It's emailed to you. It doesn't come to me. Back in the day, I would get 36 certificates mailed to my house. And if your name is spelled wrong, guess what? That's your fault. And it doesn't match your birth certificate. So you're crying. And then you got to contact the driver's ed company. So that's why you and your parents set up the account. They scan a copy of your birth certificate. So you see where we're cutting down errors. And then eventually your test will be digital. Okay? But right now, you still take a paper and pencil test. Pretty soon, we'll go online. You'll get a secure code. You'll have a 2-hour time limit. You'll take it on your phone or tablet. It's sent to the state. They check it. The driving school gets the number. You get a pass or fail. And then it's still probably going to take 10 days. But every state's different. So it is digital. You do have to print it out. Then you go to Secretary of State. Thank you. When did we reschedule drive from yesterday? My sister, Andrew, call me later, call me tomorrow. I'm not worried. We'll take care of it. You're very responsible, and I don't mind putting in work for you because you're a good guy. So don't stress. And thank you. If you're sick, don't have me drive with you. So, Andrew, I'm not worried. Okay? Not worried. Andrew, I was tired yesterday. Don't worry, Andrew, we'll figure it out. Is segment 2 similar to segment 1? No, they're different classes. You're going to learn different things. Crash avoidance, defensive driving, gift of life. Is the test in segment 2 other than the road test? You have 2 separate tests in segment 2. You have a knowledge test, that's 20 questions, and then you have the road test when you're 16 and a half, 50 hours. Good questions. Let's keep it going. What do we learn in segment 2? I've already answered that. Are you able to have different sets of tires on a car? The answer is it depends on the type of car or truck. Some all-wheel drive cars or trucks require the same type of tread. Some all-wheel drive cars or trucks do not. It depends on the type of car or truck. You need to check with the tire manufacturer. If you're lucky enough to go to a tire store, they'll ask you what type of car or truck do you have. If you have an SRT Jeep, those of you saw it this weekend, the used one, it has Pirelli tires. Are $650 a piece. You're trying to get a cheaper tire that costs $175 or $200. So if you have a high performance vehicle, you'd pay more. If you get cheaper tires, the ride might not be as good. It might be a little bit bumpy or stiff, but usually high performance tires come on high performance trucks and cars. They're very soft. Or you have a different set of tires for the winter. Great question. During a roundabout, at what point do you turn in your blinker? Hey, we almost got hit in the roundabout. You turn in your blinker just before you enter the roundabout. If you're going to the left, just before you enter the roundabout, you turn on your left turn signal. So we know if we're waiting, hey, that car's turning. Okay, good. Or they're going to the right. So you turn on your blinker just before. I like that. Thank you. What would happen if you aren't able to finish your hours within 3 months limit? You will have to maybe renew your level 1 or level 2. Maybe you got sick. Maybe you were in an accident. There are different reasons. You might have to renew it. You might have to go to where you got your original permit or certificate and call the driving school and ask them. Okay, you don't call the state. The state doesn't know who we are. Who are you? I'm Shaniqua from the hood. Shaniqua, who are you? They gonna hang up on you. Click. They gonna hang up on you. They don't know you, Shaniqua. You go to where you took driver's ed. And they know the state rules. New York is different than Nebraska. Nebraska is different than Michigan. Ohio's different than Indiana. Texas is different than Florida. So you want to get done. But sometimes if you lose your certificate, you put it in your pants and it got washed and it's destroyed, there's a replacement fee. I believe it's $15 or $20. They're not going to do anything free. You mean I got to pay for that? Yeah. Sometimes kids leave it in their pants and it gets washed, or maybe your dog chewed it up. My dog chewed up some important papers. I'm not going to say what. She gets mad sometimes. She chews up papers. I can't show you, but she chewed them up. She gets mad sometimes. So don't leave important papers down where your dog can get them. So if you lose your certificate or it gets washed or torn up, you're going to have to go back to where you got issued through the driving school or third party, and they will reprint another one for $25, $35, because driving schools are raising their prices. Trust me, I know. Should we roll into the intersection? I don't like the word roll. I like stop, when clear, move forward. Because intersections are very dangerous places. Left turns are the most dangerous because we're turning across traffic. We want to go up to the middle, wait 3/4 of the way. If you're too far under the light, you can't see it. If you're too shallow, when you turn, you're going to turn left to hit a car. So I've had students almost hit a car. They don't go up far enough. I had students go up too far. They almost hit the right curb. So early on in my career, I learned those things instantly, and I never put pressure on you to make right turns, and particularly left turns. I really support you through that. Okay? So it depends on the intersections. Most intersections today have a protected left turn. Some of the OG intersections, you're going to have to make the left turn when it's clear, and they're kind of dangerous, a little bit stressful. But your instructor went through that, so I'm good. Is there a time limit we have to take our certificate to Secretary of State? You're going to have to check whatever driver must know. I would not wait, because if you wait, your certificate is not valid. Let's pretend you wait 6 months. That's 6 months you could have been driving. So as soon as you get your digital certificate, you need to have your mom and dad take it to Secretary of State, get it validated, and start driving. Because you want to have 30 hours in 3 months, but some of you won't. Well, I'm nervous. It's okay. Or I live with my dad, but my mom and dad I live with my dad, but my mom has the birth certificate. Well, you and your dad can't do anything because your mom has the legal documents. Well, I only go see her once a month. Well, when you go see mom, you're going to have to make an appointment. Well, I can't because she doesn't want to take me. Well, you and your parent are going to have to work that out. There are always weird situations like that. We already talked about the room. You can go into the high school, your high school students. The numbers are on the wall. Pretend you're a freshman. You're coming from middle school to high school. You see all the big juniors and seniors. Okay, you can find it. It's on the wall, just like any other high school. Okay, so let's review. You asked about segment 2. You asked about, is segment 2 similar to 1? They're totally different. You ask about rescheduling. We'll take care of that, Andrew. No stress. We want to get it done. I have open days, but I'm taking care of my mental health. Andrew, we got you. If you're sick, you should not be scheduling a drive with your instructor, because if I get sick, there's a problem. It takes 10 days. It's a digital certificate. Your drive card needs to be turned in. Your test needs to be there. The attendance roster needs to be at the office. And because I'm organized and I go back to my job, whether you are done driving or not, I take the test over. And whenever you're done driving, we put your card in the mailbox. So if you're done 6 weeks from now, 8 weeks from now, maybe you got sick. Okay. Maybe you got locked up and you got a tether on. Maybe you live with your dad, but you had a fight with your dad. You moved in with your mom. I don't know. Everyone has a different situation. I've learned to be flexible. Most cars have daytime running lights. You don't have to turn on a switch. When your time is done, you leave. I'm not the gatekeeper. We start at 6:31. We asked about the knowledge test. You take your test. I turn that in. And whenever you're done driving, I turn your card in. I don't wait for you. This is a time-sensitive industry. You have to be done in 6 weeks. If you're not, you're going to have to retake class. And occasionally, kids get sick. They go to the youth home. They disappear. They run away. I can tell you crazy, crazy stories. So I just do my job and get it turned in on time. Is there a certain number of hours you have to have? No. When you take segment 2, it will probably be me, but some of you will have a different teacher. Some of you will go in person. I'm not the only one with the online class. I asked for it. Do you know the test is multiple choice? Okay, I'm just reviewing. There's a chauffeur's license. That's for a bigger vehicle. I do not have a commercial driver's license. That's for CDL, larger vehicle. I do not have a moped license because I don't ride a moped. I ride in a car. I don't have a motorcycle endorsement. My family won't let me because I would get a really fast motorcycle and No. So I don't have a motorcycle endorsement. I already have a very fast car in the garage with a roll cage, 1968 RS Camaro. That's fast enough for me. But I do not have a motorcycle endorsement. Motorcycles can be very dangerous. People don't wear helmets. They run lights, and their life is kind of short. The Highway Safety Transportation System, HTS, they look at legal legislation, national highway standards, the uniform traffic control device. Remember, a traffic light is a traffic light. Either it's vertical, up and down, or horizontal, left or right. In the United States, you always have a red light on top. You will always have a yellow light in the middle. You will always have a green light at the bottom. Always. Now, if you go to another country, that's different. Okay? State governments, following the guidelines set by federal law, they enact statutes regulating all aspects of the HTS. Every state is different. Local governments, cities, and towns pass bylaws to regulate the use of the HTS within their region. For example, some local governments do not allow any cell phone use while driving. Okay? Responsibility. Ignorance is no excuse. If you don't have insurance and get caught, judge doesn't want to hear it. Officer doesn't want to hear it. It's expired. I don't get my check till Tuesday. I had to drive. Here's your ticket. Tell it to the judge. Your judge may give you a warning, may put you on probation, may restrict your license. Every driver has 4 legal responsibilities. 1, make sure you're in good physical condition. Get rest. 2, make sure your vehicle is in good physical condition. Tires have tread. Your brakes, your headlights, no cracked windshield. Make sure your car starts, because if you break down, that's dangerous too. We saw the video of people getting hit. We'll look at that video tonight. Make sure you have the necessary driver's license requirements for your vehicle as you're operating. If you're driving a semi-truck but you only have a driver's license, if you get pulled over, you're going to get arrested. But I was just moving the truck to the other quarry yard across town. You're driving the cement truck. Let's pretend your uncle has a cement truck business. Junior, Sam is sick. We need you to get this cement truck. I know you know how to drive. Okay, Unc. You're driving the cement truck. You'll get pulled over. They're going to arrest you. They're going to impound the cement truck. Your uncle lost $50K. You're in jail. And then your family's mad at your uncle. Mom, Dad, why are you mad at Uncle? He knows better. Okay, it could happen. Must be able to satisfy the demands of state financial responsibility. You got to have insurance. Well, what if I don't have insurance? If you hit someone, you're going to get sued. And they'll go after you, your family, your college fund. They'll sue. People are sue happy. So every driver must expect the unexpected. A car's going to come out and sideswipe you. A driver's falling asleep. Grandma had a seizure. A teenager's not paying attention. Someone rear-ends you. You have to mentally prepare. I'm serious, guys. You have to mentally prepare. We got rear-ended last week. A lady hit us who wasn't paying attention. It happens. So you got to be prepared. Drivers hit cars are usually rear-ended sometimes because drivers and students hit the brake really hard. So don't slam the brake. Wear thin-sole shoes. Your safety is your responsibility. Sharing the road, pedestrians, they're vulnerable road users, children, the elderly, and adults who are on those scooters. Children, the elderly, and the adults or teens on scooters. We saw 4 or 5 teens on those e-bikes as we were about a roundabout. They had a helmet, instant torque. As soon as they hit that throttle, boom. So, children are small, hard to see. I'm reviewing you for your test. Children are small, hard to see. Once I go through this section, you put in a couple questions. Again, children are smaller, difficult to see. Near schools, they're out playing. The elderly and physically and visually impaired move slower. Avoid honking your horn. This can distract them. Adults should know better. Jaywalkers, walking not by the crosswalk. Always yield to pedestrians, even if they enter the roadway improperly. And avoid blocking designated crosswalks. This is why I want you to stop behind the stop line. I'm preparing you for your road test. Let's talk about animals. Small animals in residents, downtown, rural areas, they're very common. Small animals entering the roadway. They drive into your path. Check traffic. Brake sharply if it can be done in a safe manner. I didn't say swerve and flip your car. If you cannot avoid a small animal in a safe manner, it's best to impact, I'm sorry, Bambi, it's best to impact with the animal than to put someone's life in danger because of a reckless swerving maneuver. I'll say it again. It's better to hit the animal at an impact than do a reckless swerve and put your life or someone else's life in danger. Let's talk about large animals. Deer are more common in rural areas and can cause considerable damage. They can come inside the vehicle. They can smash your whole front clip. That's $3,000. If a larger animal enters your pathway, try to brake firmly in a straight line until you are stopped or going slow as possible. Because when you stop, the front of the car slopes down. The animal could flip over, it could go to the left, go to the right, or flip up and go through the windshield. If a collision with a larger animal is imminent, you collide with the animal. If a collision with a larger animal is imminent, release the brake just before contact. With the animal, to lift the front of your vehicle to lessen the likelihood of the animal coming into the hood and potentially striking the windshield. Bicyclists, they need to ride with the flow of the traffic. Walkers, runners, walk against the flow of the traffic. Be sure to give the bicyclist room, 3 feet. Motorcyclists are usually better trained. You still need to be aware. They go with the flow of the traffic. In states like Ohio, they can pay additional money, not have a helmet. And then when they have an accident, that 30 to 55-year-old age group, they're going to be on life support because those accidents are very common. I talked to an emergency worker. Mopeds, motorized scooters, you need to circle that. That's more common. Those e-bikes. They operate very closely to the right side. Usually have 8-year-old, 10-year-olds. Then on the other side, you have 40-year-olds, 45-year-olds, 60-year-olds, because maybe they don't have a license. They got a scooter for Christmas. They can charge it up. They can go downtown. They can go across town. Get to work 8 hours, charge it up at work, go home, make $350, pay for their blood pressure medication, and they're good. That's what a lot of people do. They get a scooter. You're like, that person's riding a scooter in the wintertime. Yep. Big fat tire bike. Wow. Yeah. Commercial vehicles, they are large and heavy, difficult to maneuver. School buses, you know about this. Always give buses extra room. You will have questions about the red flashing lights, at least 20 feet away. Don't say I didn't prepare you for your test. Don't say I'm not thorough. Emergency vehicles. When an emergency vehicle is approaching you, you must steer to the right edge of the road and park your vehicle until the emergency vehicle passes. That's the only time you steer to the left edge. There's something called the move over law, which states that the driver has to exercise due care and caution to move over a lane or reduce speed drastically to safe speed if they cannot move over. Some of you will have questions on this. I'm thorough. Some of you don't read this and then you miss 12 questions and then you pass by one. I don't care as long as I pass. Or you fail by one. Don't be that kid. I told you I had 14 kids miss 0, 2 kids miss 1. Work zones. An area where road work takes place. Highway work zones are set up according to the type of road work. Work zones can be long or short term. Work zones in the U.S. highways have become increasingly dangerous. Approximately 35,000 people per year are injured. When approaching a work zone, look for cones, barrels, signs. All temporary signs in work zones have an orange background, black letters or symbols to tell you what to do. Speeds are reduced. Safety tips in work zones. As a driver, you should learn and abide by the work zones. You're going to have questions on work zones. Watch traffic around you. Do not become oblivious to work zones. This means you like not paying attention. Merge as soon as possible. Motorists can help maintain traffic flow and posted limits by moving to the appropriate lane. Use extreme caution. Adjust your speed and position. Some work zones, such as line painting, road patching, and mowing, are mobile. Just because you don't see the workers immediately after you see the warning sign doesn't mean they're not out there. Expect delays. We all hate delays. Type in what you learned. We're going to put in some questions. We're not done yet. I'm thorough. I had a question about the TIP. Once someone gets the TIP, do they have to practice all 30 of those day or a few times within 30 days? You want to practice as much as you can because you don't know when you're going to be able to get the car. If someone is willing to drive with you, Uncle, thank you. Thank you. You my favorite nephew. You my favorite niece. Your parents just don't like me. But I said they can help you. They sent me a text. They said it was okay. I love you, Uncle. Let's go driving. So you don't know when the last time you're going to be able to use the car, so you want to drive it as much as possible. I'm just being real. I like that question. You want to drive as much as possible. No, but what I get one this summer. Not sure what you're talking about. Yes, I have a job. Oh, you're talking about a job. Yes, I have a job. I will have one this summer. Usually in summer, you kind of figure it out. School is over. You try to make a little money during the summer, but then sports comes back up. That's quit. Some of you will get a summer job, but then you have a problem. How will you get there? Oh, my mom will take me. No, she's not. My dad will take me. I can drop you off at 4:30 in the morning. I don't work till 12. Oh. Can you pick me up? I get done at 7 o'clock, but I'm done at 5. Talk to your mother. So some of you would realize you got to get a job that you can walk to, or you're going to find out your real friends. Your real friends will help you for a price. Because the way gas is, because the Strait of Hormuz, gas prices are going up. Your friends still have time to be joyriding around. I can take you and pick you up, but my mom said you got to pay me $25 a week. Oh, okay. Mom, can I get $25 a week? Because John said he's going to take me and pick me up. No, because you're always late to work. Mom, I don't like you. No, you don't like yourself because you're always late. So some of you are going to find out you won't be able to get that job because you come late or it's too far, or your boss gives you a lot of hours, but you know you can't work 30 hours a week. You stay up too late playing video games, or you're out with your friends and you got to be to work at 9 o'clock. You come at 9:30 or 10:45. It's called being fired. This summer. So a lot of you say, questions, if you stop but get hit from behind and get pushed into another car, if the car who hit you and struck you is their fault, like a chain reaction accident. Whoever caused the accident, boom, 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 boom. Whoever caused the original accident will get a ticket. But all of your insurance will go up. Because remember, the goal of an insurance company is to make money. They don't care that it wasn't your fault. Your rates are going up. They don't care that your car got hit by an animal. Your rates are going up. They don't care that you got into a fender bender in the parking lot and you reported it and you filed a claim, your rates are going up. So you're going to have a nice car during the summer, but if you hit a deer and your fender's just not too bad, let's give it to Uncle John. He works at a car shop. He'll take the fender off and knock it out. Mom, it looks rusty and there's a big square. Be quiet. You're ungrateful. Your parents are probably not going to report a little fender bender because the insurance will go up. Okay? Do motorcyclists get full lane of the road? Yes. Release the brake before hitting a large animal? Yes, because when you release the brake, the front end will come back up so the animal won't flip up and go through the windshield. Right side of the road, when there's an emergency vehicle, yes. We want to be careful. You need to move over law if you can. Remember, law enforcement officers get hit all the time. We saw the video. We're going to look at that in a few minutes. I've learned what to do with animals there. Yeah, it's always sad. Hitting a highway worker can happen anytime. This is true. Last summer, a highway worker got struck and killed. Really sad. I've learned that it's better to hit a smaller animal than to not have to swerve into a safe area. Yes, it's sad but true. Trust me, it happened to me last summer. I had to pull over. I was crying. I hit a duck and her babies because the semi truck was coming by. They kind of got through real fast, and then so I was really shaken up. It shook me up. What do you do if you're about to hit a large animal? You know what to do, Gino. We told you what to do. You release the brake just before impact. Because if you squeeze the brake, the front end will go down. The animal could come up over the hood, and you're going to have Bambi. Hi, Gino. You're not funny, sir. Hi, the animal could come through the windshield. Okay, deer are huge. 70 pounds, 80 pounds, a big buck. That's the male. With the horns, 120 pounds. Okay? So you want to release a brake. And if you see one deer, there are probably more. It's not if we'll hit a deer, it's when. But I thought you said positive manifestation. I'm a realist too. I don't want to think about a deer. I've learned how to prepare for impact. The only time you'll pull over is when on a divided highway. Yes. Okay, I thought the review was good. I'm going to spice it up. What are we doing? I don't want to do a quizzy. Wham Bam Tesla, the on-scene, you vote. What are we doing? Wham Bam Tesla, on-scene TV, some of the police videos, specific driving videos. You want to know about roundabouts, left turns, right turns. We have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so we have 3 days. You're going to do the questions. We'll do this the second hour. Oh, you like to wham bam? Okay, give me 1 second. Guys, this is a great class. I want to say thank you, subscribe, follow, leave comments, leave questions. Thank you for being a great moderator. Thank you. Subscribe.